Hello and welcome to Iron Court. This program is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, Ball PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Now, this week we are taking a look at a very important subject that has to do with taxation. We want to understand the filing of tax returns and also the taxation of resident persons in Ghana. So we had in the studios two officials from the Ghana Revenue Authority to take us through this particular subject. Let's take a listen. What is the rationale behind introducing the foreign income tax on resident Ghanaians, and then also how will this benefit the country?
Okay, to start with, I should say that Ghana in 2015 made very important changes to our tax legislation, shifting it from the territorial taxation basis to a worldwide taxation basis. What do I mean by that? When the previous act was in force, incomes from an individual were taxed only when it accrues in, or it's received in, or it is earned in Ghana.
Okay.
Meaning, if an individual earns an income out of the jurisdiction of Ghana and does not bring it in, it becomes difficult to target it for tax purposes.
You mean if the individual stays in Ghana but works or gets revenue from outside? Is that it?
Yes. So we're looking at a tax resident person, a person who is by law required to file and pay his or her taxes or the entity's taxes in Ghana.
Okay.
And the entity or the person is having an income being earned out of the jurisdiction of Ghana.
Okay.
Under the previous enactment, until it is brought in, received in, it becomes difficult to tax it. Okay. So in 2015, major changes were done.
Okay.
And based on that, now income earned, irrespective of where it exists, should be disclosed for tax purposes in Ghana, so long as you are mandated to file and pay your taxes in Ghana.
Okay. So how would this benefit the country was the second leg of the question.
This came up to widen the tax base of the base of the income that previously were not being taxed. So the tax base literally has been widened, bringing in more sources of income for tax purposes.
How was GRA determine which foreign income to tax?
Yes, so we're looking at foreign financial assets or any financial assets that a person is holding out there in other jurisdictions. We may look at the incomes that are to be taxed.
Okay.
So for the Income Taxes Act, we look at the exemptions, and once an income is not an exempt income, then it should be reviewed for tax purposes. So when we extend it into the arena of the offshore financial assets, we're looking at any arrangement that yield ownership or contractual relationship that for which consideration or gain will be due a person. And it comes in the form of either cash, certificates of deposit, bonds, mutual funds, and other forms of investment portfolios, irrespective of the combinations of it. So long as it is owned by a tax resident person of Ghana, it should be disclosed for tax purposes.
All right. So let me, Mr. Nati, let me come to you and then ask you your opinion. The foreign income tax on resident Ghanaians. Could you shed more light on this as well?
All right. Thank you very much. To add to what my colleague has just said, individuals, we have three sources of income. Your employment income, your business income, and then your investment income.
Okay.
So as he said, the Act 592 was restricting it to incomes that are accrued in Ghana, brought into or received in Ghana. But now we have gone worldwide. So if you are a resident person and you earn income either from employment outside the country or a business outside the country or an investment you have outside the country, we have to bring all these things to consolidate them and then file returns on them for tax assessment.
Okay. Does the day that one spends in a country determine whether he's a resident or not?
Sure. For residency, we have a lot of things that determine a person's residency. So for individual, we look at if the person has stayed in the country for cumulatively 183 days or more, he becomes a resident person. If the person has an abode, a resident abode here, or he's a citizen of Ghana and has not lived outside the country for continuously more than 365 days, that person is a resident person. When we talk of businesses, partnership, if one of the partners is a resident person in Ghana, that partnership qualifies to be a resident partnership, and therefore it can be taxed on worldwide basis. Also, if it's a company becomes a resident company if it is registered under the laws of Ghana or it is incorporated in Ghana, then it's a resident company. Or managerial decisions are taken from Ghana. The company may be outside, but if managerial decisions and running of the company takes place in Ghana, then it can also qualify as a resident company. If it is a trust, if one of the trustees is in Ghana or the trust is operating from our territory, it can also fit in as a resident trust. And these companies and individuals, which collectively we call them person. In tax, when we say a person can be an individual, an entity, a corporate body, anything. So these persons, so far as they have residency in Ghana, they are supposed to file their taxes here and pay their taxes here. Okay. And now we are going worldwide. So if you fall into any of these categories that I've mentioned, then your income is supposed to be taxed worldwide. All right.
Mr. Osu, talking about the 183 days, if somebody spends 182 days and relocates, I mean, that means the person has served the tax. Is that it?
Yes. So, as it's been defined, if a person's count of days in Ghana does not meet the 183 threshold, for instance, I am a citizen of Ghana, but I don't keep a permanent home in Ghana and spend more than 183 days outside and less here, then I'm not a resident person for tax purposes in Ghana. So my income should not be reviewed for that particular year. And let me extend it by saying that the tax resident status is not a static activity. So every year, it should be reviewed to get a person's status, whether it has changed or it still remains the same. Okay. And this must be disclosed by the individual or the person that is supposed to pay taxes to GRA.
Okay, so what's the process for this disclosure?
Yes, this disclosure takes place through the filing of tax returns. And every year, GRA sets aside the month of April for tax and good governance to educate and to inform all taxpayers about their obligation and the need to file taxes. So through this activity, every information needed for tax purposes should be disclosed by every taxpayer to GRA.
Mr. Nati, let me come to you. I mean, you mentioned April being the month where you expect the public or businesses to file their tax returns and all that. I want to find out from you, corporate tax, are there any extensions available?
Okay, so as you said, April is the month for which we expect everybody to file your individual taxes as well as the corporate taxes. But the law says 4 months after your basis period. So a company can have a basis period that is different from 1st January to 31st December. In that case, the company will file its tax after 4 months of the end of the basis period. So if its basis period is from July to June, then it is not required to file a tax in April, as we are saying now. But individuals, every individual, human beings, then PI, which we call the PIT, personal income tax, that one, your basis period is from 1st January to 31st December. So for 2023, it is due by end of April. Now, yes, there is opportunity for you to have extension of filing of your returns. But then there are rules.
Okay.
If for one reason or the other you are unable to file your returns by the end of April, you have to officially write to the Commissioner General requesting for extension.
Okay.
And it must be done before the end of the time that you are supposed to file. So, for instance,
Meaning the end of the year?
No, we have April, 30th April as the deadline. You don't wait and after the 30th April has expired before you write to Commissioner General that for reason A or B, I am unable to file my returns to extend. You have to do it before the end of the time of filing. So we have 2 days more. By Tuesday, the month of April will be ending. If you can't file your returns by the end of April, by now you should write to the Commissioner General. And the Commissioner General will look at the reasons you have assigned to
Not being able to.
And if it sees them tenable, he is able to extend them. Depending on their nature, he may give you a week or a month, up to 2 months, 60 days, cumulatively up to 60 days. You can give somebody 2 weeks, and the 2 weeks he will not be able to file and still ask for extension. But the cumulative extension that the Commissioner General can give is up to 60 days.
How are you ensuring that those who are expected to pay these taxes comply?
Okay, so through various activities that are being implemented concurrently. So we've reached out through the media engagement like we are doing here, informing taxpayers and anyone who has an offshore account or income to come and disclose it for tax purposes.
How do you verify the accuracy of returns, of tax returns, and what are the consequences for incorrect information?
All right. So the system, when you put out the information into the system, it is only errors on the surface that the system will be able to detect. So if it was supposed to be 100,000 that you are earning and you put there 50, the system will not be able to detect. But the Commissioner General has the right, through our compliance activities, to cross-check on the returns you have filed, whether they are accurate or not, either through audit or other information sources. As he is saying, for the voluntary disclosure one, we have the data now. So if you put anything there and it is not corresponding to what the data is saying, we can come after you.
So that was some advice from the Ghana Revenue Authority on how we can honor our tax obligations as citizens of Ghana. I on Port returns after this break.
Ohima, no, maybe I take a number first. By you. You tell me say take the number give me.
Guys, no, I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I dey come.
Shut up!
Mame, feel me talk number what? Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Euro 95.
Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for mommy.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the IC covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back from the break. Now, news and activities happening within the port and maritime industry next.
The Ghana Shippers Authority has held a workshop for municipal, district, and agencies on how to avoid demurrage and rent charges at the ports. The workshop was used to sensitize decision makers at relevant MDAs on time-related costs associated with shipping, how to avoid them, what steps to take when the signs are clear that a consignment may be affected, as well as their role in achieving these. Also, the workshop sought to sensitize MDAs responsible for granting of exemptions and issuing of permits to shippers on the costs that delay in their processes bring to shippers, to guide them in the discharge of their duties. In a speech read on behalf of the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Shippers Authority, Kwesi Bafo Sapon, by the Director of Operations, Sylvia Asana Dauda. attributed the decrease in demurrage costs over the past few years to government policies and collaboration of stakeholders.
The research department of the Ghana Shippers Authority estimated that importers in Ghana paid demurrage amounting to USD 76 million in 2017. By 2019, the amount had declined to USD 27 million, with a further decline to USD 24 million in 2022.
The head of Shippers Services and Trade Facilitation at the Ghana Shippers Authority, Monica Desire, advised on the way forward to avoid demurrage and rent charges by the MDAs.
What we believe in is sometimes you may clear your things and then you are stopped that maybe your thing has been tagged or there's intel or something. We believe that if there's a robust risk management system, these things may not be necessary, so that we allow trade to be facilitated.
The Director of Business Development and Commercial Services of Ghana Shippers Authority, Emmanuel Akon, emphasized the importance of the regular sensitization on the avoidance of demurrage.
Demurrage is avoidable. Demurrage and rent, they are twin brothers. So let's ensure that we avoid. We can do, the statistics are very interesting. It means the education is going up, but we can still do more.
The Marketing and Corporate Affairs Manager at the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Nanesi Sodabe, encouraged freight forwarders and importers to reach out to authorities when they face challenges in the process of clearing their goods.
If some of the things are not your fault and not within your purview, as much as we can help to mitigate, we will do so. And we have reps, Tema, Takoradi, all the areas. You will definitely get someone to help you.
There were some suggestions made by participants that government should consider putting up warehouses outside the port enclave to receive cargoes from importers who may not have resources to clear their goods on time in order to reduce the high cost of demurrage.
The National Service Personnel Association of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Tema, has organized a Women's Day celebration to honor and appreciate the roles of women who have broken barriers to become beacons of hope to the nation. The program was under the theme, Echoes of the Past, the Role of Women Through History and Culture. Otutu Abrimpong Asona of Ekropong, Nana Doku Adobia I, encouraged personnel to embrace their culture as it plays a vital role in their identity as Ghanaians.
Women have really played a vital role in African history. Emia, Ganambia, Ewiasimbia, Edamunyanasi.
Apegusu Hima Nana Ajwa Odrowa III highlighted the importance of preserving our history and values as citizens.
Respecting and celebrating the diversity of our heritage, we can build bridges between different communities and create a sense of solidarity that transcends differences.
The special guest of honor, Oheneyere Awodensua, also known as Gifty Auntie, urged women to build their own empire and empower themselves as they keep in mind who they are.
The Ghanaian woman takes bold, calculated risk. The Ghanaian woman knows that daggers will be thrown at her. Things will be said about her, but she will still move.
Aframanse Hima of Jakiti, Nanaya Adobia I, encouraged personnel to preserve their values and build a world that they all want.
Let's continue to cherish and celebrate and pass on our history to future generations. Let us preserve our values and just not for ourselves and build the world that we want.
The president of the National Service Personnel Association of GPHA urged personnel to commemorate the strength and resilience of Ghanaian women and work towards a future where gender equality and respect are the norm in the country.
Let us embrace the echoes of the past, celebrate the power of Ghanaian women, and strive for a future where women can reach her full potential.
Earlier, the Queen Mothers paid a courtesy call on the Director of Port of Tema, Sandra Opoku, who stressed the need for women to work diligently and harness the necessary skills needed for their career journey.
GPHA, for the past 5 or more years, we've always had a number of national service. We take it as our CSR. We try to give them the skills that when they leave, they can fit in somewhere else. I always tell them that the skills that you learn from here, even if it's for a short period, you also go it goes a long way to add to the things that your knowledge that you've acquired over the years.
It's time for some international ports and maritime news.
The UK government has launched a Smart Shipping Acceleration Fund to drive maritime innovation and harness the benefits of artificial intelligence for the maritime sector. On April 22, 2024, UK Maritime Minister Lord Davies of Goa revealed an €8 million in funding to support studies related to smart shipping solutions. These include self-driving boats for streamlined port operations, the use of artificial intelligence, and other innovations. Successful ports will be able to use AI to detect safety hazards, optimize port activities, and reduce their environmental footprint.
We have the phrase of the day next.
Act of Man. Act of man in water transportation refers to the deliberate sacrifice of cargo to make the vessel safe for the remaining cargo. Those sharing in the spared cargo proportionately cover the loss.
Now, schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates you need to know to clear your goods from the port next. Let's take a listen to some comments you've been sharing with us.
James Square is asking, are there any repercussions of not paying taxes after filing and generating tax bills? Well, James, according to GRA, there are penalties for not paying taxes, and you could be fined between 200 penalty units and 2,000 penalty points. One can even be prosecuted and jailed for failing to pay taxes. Good evening, IronPort. Great show. It appears the system forces you to download a payroll every month when filing for Pay As You Earn. Any reason for this? Well, Ahima, Pay As You Earn is a monthly payment subscription, and according to GRA, once you have been registered for that type of taxation, when you log into the system, it will require you to download. This is because the GRA may not know the number of people who have left your company or how many people you have re-engaged. Hence, all these answers will be indicated when filling the form.
This is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of IronPort. Thank you for watching, and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week.